My name is Sándor Cserháti. I'm the Lutheran pastor in the local church in Szeged. Let me start with separating the two questions. They may be related, they are related, but I think we have to discuss it separately because both subjects deserves to talk about it separately. The first one is the child abuse or the abuse of minors, which is now a really hot problem issue in our world, and I think it deserves to be a hot topic, especially because for such a long time it was hidden. I don't think that earlier times there were fewer occasions, but now it's the time that they come to the light. And that's why we are especially responsible in this matter. I don't want to say any specifics. The reason for it that I don't know any cases in our church. There may be, but they haven't come to light. So, and we are a relatively small church in Hungary, 2% they say. And I don't want to talk. It's very easy to talk about other people's problems. So that's the reason why I try to remain as general as possible. The first thing is that it's a critical issue, especially in case of churches, that the church is very easy to hide the events in these churches, any kind of events, because a kind of the milieu of secrecy, of mystery circles or around the churches, and that also makes these kind of crimes, let me say that, to remain hidden. And also we have to take in account the solidarity in the church, solidarity between pastors and priests, which on one hand is very natural. Even in a company, it's natural that if they deserve, you defend your I can say the members of the family of the firm, and especially in churches. So it's a very hard question when to draw the line and say that there's no more solidarity, because it's a much more important question at hand, and we are responsible for in that respect. And in case of Christianity, we can refer to Jesus, for whom the main concern is the little ones, the ones without power. Not our people, who are in this case have the upper hand, who have power. And the secrecy, and especially that the question of religious faith is in one of our deepest layers of thinking, of emotions. It's very hard to abuse in these situations. But we should be aware that our place is beside the victims of these instances, these crimes, and of course it goes against the solidarity with our people, but it shouldn't be the case, and we have to stand up against this kind of abuses, of course, and the church should be. So we shouldn't allow that the outer world should take the first steps. We should, and show our solidarity to the powerless all the time. Let me start my answer with a quote. The date is February 1992. It says, "It has become clear that the MDF government," MDF was the conservative governing party at that time, that MDF government is looking for a political ally in the churches in opposition to society. It is sad to see day by day that not all church leaders recognize the danger that the MDF's embrace could be fatal for the churches. For the churches will only take the position they deserve in a modern society if they retain and regain their autonomy. If they label some of the political actors as enemies and others as allies, they themselves become political actors." It's a very good quote, and it's from Viktor Orbán, at that time the chairman of Fidesz, and now the Prime Minister of Hungary. So it's a very interesting quote. I agree, sentence by sentence, what he's saying, and I'll be glad that that he would be aware of what he was saying something a little less than 30 years ago. So there is a couple of instances how religion, in this case Christianity, is abused in our society. One of the political one. I think I shouldn't say anything more than that because that's very precise explanation what is happening now. Let me talk about the other area of this kind of abuse of the churches or the religious sentiments. I always said that religion is a very sensitive part in all of us, and that's why it's very easy to abuse this kind of sentiments and mix them with other similarly sensitive questions like our nation or our family, and also fear and anxiety as well. And that's the reason why it is really easy to play on these feelings and mix them together and present them as they always belong together. And as Christians, we have to say that it's not true. I already talked about Jesus' preference of the needy, the powerless, and for him, if any other concerns, like the concern of family or nations, there were the notion of nation is a modern one, but any other concerns are secondary to the solidarity towards the powerless. As Jesus said, the little ones, my little ones, which is a very nice saying of what is at stake here. We have to separate again because partly it's a question of legislation, which I'm not an expert at all of, but there should be laws, and not just laws, but a system of monitoring how law is applied in our societies, which is very, very important. But that's not my table, so I turn to the second one, which is about the religious communities. And it's important to say communities because it means that people who live, if not together, but close to each other, who meet time after time, they know themselves and each other, and they can be strong if all those who have the most power, in a good sense, in these communities, maintain a kind of area of free speech, free thinking, free expressing even those thoughts that we don't usually associate with religious thinking. Places of a kind of common life when there's no topic forbidden, taboos, in other words, and it's our interest. It may be surprising because we may have other impressions about churches or religion, but I think our main concern should be keep people or help people to become independent thinkers when they can decide when they are in danger and when not. And if we have maintaining these kind of communities, I don't think they are in danger. They're in danger if we force them with the tools we have to becoming one-dimensional thinkers, and that's the main problem. But I would separate the churches as institution from the communities, and I think they are most, how to say, are most in the danger of being abused, because they are responsible for the churches, the infrastructure, its financial stability, and especially in churches who are weak in this respect, they can be abused solely on financial level. That a certain support will come if you not abide. And that can be dangerous, but it's for me it's separate problems from the communities. And I am responsible for a community, and that's my main concern. And I'm also a member of the institute as well, but fortunately that's not my responsibility.